10, 5, 4, 3.
We are back again with another episode of the Santa Boot First podcast tonight. We got topic potpourri. It's a little slow as far as sports go, but there's always something to talk about in Philly sports. So we'll be touching on, I think, all four sports tonight. As we get into it, you're listening to another episode of the Santa Boot First podcast. Come on back.
Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo.
Good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Santa Boot First podcast, coming to you live from beautiful downtown Willow Grove, the lovely Crack Bell Production Studios, on this lovely Thursday evening. This is your co-pilot for the evening, Jim Marcus to my left. I've got the elder statesman, Donald Kennedy Martin. Deke, how are you?
Good. How you doing, James?
Fantastic.
Did you say beautiful downtown Willow Grove?
I did say beautiful.
You
did. I did. Come on, I got my script.
Okay.
Got my script. It's all up here. Come on, man. No question.
Your mental script?
My script, yes. To his left, we've got the AP. What's up, Smitty?
What's up, man? How are you?
Good.
Great.
Did you start getting that AP money yet?
Great. I've had that. Oh, man.
Look, he's got a fresh hat, of course.
I see, I know, right?
Ain't no fresh hat.
To his left, we got the youngest Martin, Andrew.
What's up?
Keeping us live and on the air behind the glass, we got Nate Moss, Money Man.
What's up?
What's going on? We're missing a couple people tonight. DJ, he may chime in, he said here, but he's feeling a little under the weather. Brody Man had practice, but we'll get through. It's what we do. Excuse me. Before we get started, thank our sponsors, InsurePhilly.com. Give our guy Matt Maloney a call for all your insurance needs, up to 10 quotes in about 10 minutes. Keeping us hydrated. Pops McCann's fine whiskeys and bourbons. If you need some libations, some cocktails, reach out to Jason Fogg, Pops McCann's. You can order them online. His newest whiskey, his newest bourbon just came out a few weeks ago, the Wild Bill Grenier. Had it in here with us. It was fantastic. A very smooth bourbon, 101 proof, and you wouldn't even know. And to Mamma Mia's Pizzeria, keeping our bellies full tonight. We had the meat lovers. We know Smitty loves his meat. So we got him a meat lovers and upside down. Had to get pepperoni on the upside down because, like I said, Smitty loves his meat.
Well, you got that sausage.
So we've heard.
Good old Italian sausage.
Yes,
Hey.
yes.
Man.
It was my turn a couple weeks ago. It's your turn this week. With my boy Pat from down under.
Yes, you did take a beating from Pat.
Roasting my...
Pat looks like he's on here. And
He
yes,
is on here.
Flyers are a mess. We're going to get into that, Pat. Plenty to get into.
We didn't care about the Flyers, do we?
Well, you have to. A little bit. Come on, Smitty.
I made a comment in a forum somewhere, and I said, sports is so dry right now. This is how I know football is the greatest sport in the world, because it's just so dry. And the comments that I got back that were just like, I love it right now. I love hockey, and I love baseball. Like, you're lying.
It's slow.
It's slow.
Yeah.
It's so slow. Like all the trades and everything. I know you guys are gonna get into it for hockey, but like, come on. Like, you weren't
We
like
ain't
your
getting
phone
into
wasn't
anything.
burning up. Like, you weren't like, oh my god. Like it didn't turn the needle. It didn't move the needle at all in like the sports world. Maybe a little bit, because I think the one guy that the Flyers could have got, and it's just like, oh, we're not trying to win at all, are we?
Yeah.
But other than that, it was just like
Yeah, they ain't trying to win.
it just passed.
They're
So.
a super hot mess, those Flyers. And we'll get into that. Before we get into it, I do have something to address. When the last time we were in here, it seems more and more we come in here and we have to make a comment about the state of the world. And I hate doing it. But this one hit a little closer to home. And it's just the violence in this city is just crazy right now. The gun violence especially. And these are my thoughts. These are not the thoughts of the gentleman in the room with me or Crack Bell Production Studios. If you want to take this as a political statement, go ahead. I don't care. I'm not a political guy. This is not a political statement. But this city needs to do something about the guns, the gun violence. This country needs to do something about the guns and the gun violence. A couple weeks ago, my niece was gunned down by a coward, I'm not even going to call him a man, not going to call him a person. He's not a human. I'm not going to disrespect animals by calling him an animal. He was a coward piece of shit. I apologize to those who were listening, but it's a little raw. And it could have been stopped. If you want your guns, I get it. It's a constitutional right. But it needs to be more difficult to get a gun in this city than it is to get lottery ticket winnings. You need to fill out more paperwork to get lottery ticket winnings than you do to get a gun in the city. You get banned from buying 2 packs of Sudafed in this city. But anybody can go in, get a gun, as long as you're age 18, 21, depending on the type of gun you want. You don't need to have any type of registration, permit, no training, no waiting period, no background check. It's ridiculous. My wife's family's had 3 tragedies due to guns, and 2 of them were unregistered guns. I'm not naive enough to think that this fixes everything, but something's got to be done. Right? I'm not a politician. I'm not paid to do anything to fix it, but at this point, I think people need to start doing something, because obviously the politicians aren't doing it. I'm not saying take everybody's guns, so you people out there that feel the need to have your guns, have them. I'm talking about gun control. Obviously, everybody should have the right to protect their families. What happened, this guy, from what it appears, he was just some fake tough guy, and he wasn't keeping this gun for self-defense. And there's a lot of people out there that I don't understand why you feel the need to walk around the city with a gun on your hip if you're not a business owner walking around with loads of cash. If you don't feel that safe, and don't get on me for this, I know it's easy to say, but if you don't feel safe in your neighborhood, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. This is why our politicians need to do something. I love this city. I've been hearing so many times you need to get out of that city. The one thing that makes me happy about this city is when something like this happens, the community around us that really shows the support and is there to help. I can't thank these guys in the room enough. People that don't even know us. Our guy, Pat Sweeney. I mean, there's people that we've never met giving donations, saying kind words, sending food. I got a list of businesses I'm going to thank. But the real point here is that we need to do something about the gun violence. There needs to be background checks. You need to do something for, maybe it's control ammunition. Like, don't make it that easy. If you're a business owner, show me your business license. We'll expedite your gun process. But the fact that it's just so easy to get a fucking gun in this city and just do what's happening. And since that happened, there's been multiple more shootings in just a week. A 13, 14, and 15-year-old, I think, the other night were shot. There was the car that pulled up in Delaware County, and the kid got out of the car and shot into the car while the mother was driving. The kid got back into the car and said, "I hope it didn't kill anybody." What are you thinking? Why are you shooting into that car then? Yeah. Why? There's a lot going on, and just something needs to be done. And I feel like the politicians aren't really listening. This happens. We said it with the school shooting. It happens. Everybody's in an uproar. Everybody says something needs to get done, and we kind of forget about it. And it's a shame, because that's how it happens. We had Andrew Brody in here telling us how they practice drills in school for active shooters. Smitty knows all too well. Yep. My niece, completely innocent girl, wrong place, wrong time, had nothing at all to do with what happened, and just this scumbag tried to be a fake tough guy, and I hope he rots. I don't have an ounce of hate in my soul, but this guy, he gets it all, if I have any. So, as I said to these guys, and last week we didn't have the show, hug your close ones a little tighter. You never know what's going to happen. There's a young girl just hanging out with her friends, not into anything. But they make it way too easy to get a gun in this city. You want to be a collector, collect your guns. You like your guns. I'll never have a gun. I'll never own a gun. I hope I would never have to use it. I don't know if I'd be able to. I'm not saying take your guns away, so don't people come at me say, we have a right. you have a right. It's not a privilege. There should be something you need to do to have that gun. Register it. Take a class. Registered annually. It won't stop the straw sales. I get that. But any little thing we can do to try to slow that down, I think needs to be done. Yeah. So I do want to thank a lot of businesses reached out. The one I want to thank the most is Nick's Roast Beef. I mean, the guy, Matt Rossi, he reached right out to the family and said, I'm going to cover the lunch and I'm going to do something for you guys. He doesn't know my family. He doesn't know any of us. We talked to him, my wife and I, when we got there, and he just said, I felt bad. I felt the restaurant industry owed your family something for the horrible tragedy that happened. So we really appreciate that. Mama Mia's helped out with these guys. These guys sent the family food. Really appreciate it. We had Primos down in Mayfair sending food to family members. Jefferson Hospital, where my wife worked, they sent food. Parkwood Pretzel Factory, our friends Patty and Dave, thank you. They sent food. Parkwood Youth Organization sent food. Like, everything was coming. And like I said, this is the great thing about this city, these communities. They show the support. They're there for you when you need it. They'll help lift you up. It's just a shame that you have a few scumbags. They just don't know how to be a human being. And yeah, I don't want to keep rambling. We're here to talk sports. This is a distraction, and that's what I want it to be. But I felt like I had to say something because it's just been eating at us. It's been eating at the family, and it will continue to. And anybody else that has gone through this in their family, we feel for you. And I just, hope nobody close to me has to go through it ever. And, yeah. So I'm going to stop rambling, and we'll get into some sports. I don't know if it's too early to take a break. I don't know if you guys want to say anything.
I don't want to take a break. I just want to say that I echo all your statements. So when you said that was a statement by you, like, I feel like that's a statement by all of us. Like I said, when I first came into Santa Boot first, I've always felt that, it was a family. And I think even when you go through tragedies, you see, how special this group is, and, just continued prayers and support for your family, the Holton family, everyone affected by this tragedy, because, these things don't need to happen. And that was the moral of what you said. And you said it beautifully in a way in which, we know you're angry, but your point is that there needs to be things that have to be done, because a lot of this stuff can be controlled.
It can.
It can be controlled, and if there's something that, we can do or be the voice of change, I think we need to. I agree with you. Like, I have a lot of friends that have guns, and nobody's saying take away your guns, but, like, you should not be able to go to a gun show and get rifles. You should not be able to. And I get what, Joe White said. Like, the problem is everybody needs it, can get a gun, but the thing is we need to make guns harder to get.
Yeah.
That's the key that needs to be.
Yes.
So I just want to, let you know that we support, love your family, and we're always going to be there for you.
Thank you.
Yep.
The first thing I want to say is, don't ever apologize
Right.
for what you say.
Right.
You said early on you apologize for something. You don't ever need to apologize for anything, especially concerning that.
Yep.
And Santa Boot First is a family. What happens to one of us happens to all of us.
Yep.
And that's the way I feel about it. And regarding guns, I didn't grow up with guns. Never had guns in my house when I was a kid. I didn't know anybody who had a gun. Guns weren't, in the 60s and 70s and 80s, guns weren't nearly as prevalent as they are today. People settled things with their fists, and they were friends again the next day or whatever. But times have changed, the world has changed, and I think one of the things that has changed is the culture that we live in now. There's a culture of not caring about life or property. And until that culture changes, we're going to continue to have these issues. People have to continue or have to start caring about things that are precious again. And I feel that there's a culture of not caring about things that are precious. And life is the most precious thing that we have. And if if you don't care about that, then you end up doing things like that cowardly piece of shit did in the parking lot that night. Regarding access to guns, I too don't care if you want a gun. I know people with guns. It's your right. It's in the Constitution to have guns. That's fine. There's a certain segment of the population today that should not be allowed within 10 miles of a gun. Those who have a restraining order against them, those who have had domestic violence in their past, those who are on psychotic drugs. There's a whole list of types of people who should not have access to guns. Background checks, universal background checks is a must. Somebody can't walk into a gun show and just say, I like that one, I think I'll buy it, and be able to walk out with it and then go do whatever it is they're going to do with it. There needs to be a universal background check in every possible way you can score a gun. Yes, there are going to be straw purchases. There are going to be gun sales on the street, the black market. There's not a whole lot you can do about that, and I recognize that. But there are things that we can do, politicians and society together, that would make it a lot more difficult for the wrong people to get access to a gun. And that's what needs to happen, coupled with changing the culture of a lack of caring for precious things.
All right. I think it's let's take a break here, and we'll come back, and we'll get into what everybody's really here for. We'll talk some sports. Lots of things happening. Maybe not exciting things, but lots of sports to talk about. So thank you for being fans and watching and for the support. I know there's folks out there listening that showed their support, whether it's just kind words, the donations, everything. The family really does appreciate it. Let's make sure our justice system works, and the family can get a little bit of peace. But thanks for hanging out. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Promise we'll talk sports. You're listening to Santa Boot First Podcast. InsurePhilly.com. We comparison shop all the time. Can I get this cheaper on Amazon? What will the store brand save me? Should I get a second estimate on this remodel?
Thank you.
So why not do that for your insurance needs? Better yet, why not have someone
James.
comparison shop for you? At InsurePhilly.com, you can get up to 10 quotes in about 10 minutes with top insurance carriers like Progressive, Travelers, Nationwide, Selective, Liberty Mutual, Encompass, Kemper, and Berkshire Hathaway.
First with
Owner agent Matt Maloney provides top national carriers with top local service. Just go to InsurePhilly.com to get your quote online or call Matt at 215-300-9590. For all your insurance needs, auto, home, life, business, and Medicare insurance plans, make sure to go to InsurePhilly.com today or call 215-300-9590. Matt Maloney gives you the national carriers you recognize from a local company you can trust. InsurePhilly.com.
And quite frankly, I don't care what
All right, we are back with another episode of the Santa Boot First Podcast. Thanks for hanging through the commercial there. Gave Schmitty time to take a bio break. So we are back. Like I said, plenty to talk about. Maybe not the most exciting time in Philly sports, but lots to talk about. What do you got, Andrew?
What?
What?
Oh, you want a water?
Oh. Sorry.
Something.
Well, I didn't want
Why are we doing
So-
sign language?
to interrupt the show.
We're going to talk. We're going to hit all four tonight, right? Where do we want to go?
I mean, I guess.
Where are we going first? We want to get heated first?
Dude,
Where do we want to laugh first? Where do we want to go?
honestly be heated about every team.
Every team's going to get you heated right now?
I mean, except for the Eagles. Well, yeah, the Eagles because Derrick Gunn, but like anything's gonna get.
Well,
me
let's
heated.
let's see if I can combine two topics, right? We'll see if this works.
All right, let's do it.
So James Harden and Johnny Hockey, right?
Oh God, we're going here.
We're going here. Harden put his money where his mouth is, right? Harden said, I want to win. I'll take less. Now, we don't know what type of shenanigans are happening behind the scenes. You see that they're saying, there needs to be an investigation and a tampering. Yeah, it was like, so Fanatics gives him an endorsement deal for $100 million. So be it. A sneaker company could come do it. A drink company could come do it. It just happens to be one of the former owners of the Sixers. Maybe he thinks Harden's a very marketable guy.
Yeah.
But, and you guys know, the last couple months, I've been very down on the beard. I've hammered him. I'm still not sold that he's going to be the player we expect him to be. But look, he said, I'll take, $15 million less? Yeah. We haven't actually seen a deal yet, right? He hasn't signed a deal yet.
Nothing's been signed.
We haven't seen a deal yet, but if the deal goes the way in which it looks like it's going to go, which is a 1 year plus a 1, I think the Sixers benefit really well, even if he's not a long-term piece, because if the guy wants to get paid, he's going to ball out this year.
Yeah.
So he can get a max contract and he can opt out. If it's not in Philly, it's somewhere else. So, either way, I think it benefits. I think the way it plays out personally is if Harden has a good year, his boy's already here Tucker's already here, so I think he'll re-up. But I also think the Sixers are able to get out of it. And if you think about it, him opting out was probably the best thing for the team because it allowed them to sign Tucker and allowed them to sign House, which is better than just having Harden, right?
Yeah.
But so I think it's a win-win for the Sixers because if it doesn't work out next year, he's gone.
I like that too, right? Because you were talking about him signing a max deal. It would have been multiple years.
Yeah, 5
and
60,
I
60 million,
think he's on the downturn from his career. He's not in his prime anymore. He's still a young guy, and basketball players, they have a longer career than football players. But I don't know. I feel like he's on the downturn. So you get 2 years out of him, and you can, after 1 year, you can say, all right, you're either going to get paid or you're going to walk.
Or you're going to take your option, and then you stuck with him another year. Now we don't know what that option is.
Yeah, we have to see all that stuff.
Probably $47 million to make that money back would be my guess. The
second year would be 47. You think he's going to want? You think you got to make it more because he's sticking around, or do you think there's stuff going on behind the scenes? Do you think he's going to get some type of endorsement deal from Fanatics?
I don't.
You think he's getting paid somewhere else?
He's probably getting paid somewhere else. I don't think it'll be an endorsement deal from Fanatics because he's never Fanatics. I know for a fact in the past has thrown a lot of money at his way, and he doesn't want to do the autograph thing. But who knows? It might change now, right? It might change now if that $15 million is made up for him to sign some autographs.
It's just another spigot to turn on for that money to pour through.
I mean, it is. It is kind of, as you know, I'm a big believer that he's going to bounce back, right? And I think that one of the things that I'd really like to see from him that I haven't seen, and again, it's I don't want to fall into the Ben Simmons, Markelle Fultz where we see videos, but it looks like he's actually trying to get himself in playing shape. And like I said, I think that only benefits the Sixers. Even if he becomes Houston Harden for a year and we can't keep him, it's going to benefit us because he wants to get paid.
Exactly.
So I think it works out.
He definitely won't be Houston Harden.
No.
Yeah, I think you're not going to see those days.
That ship sailed a long time ago.
I mean,
but almost Houston Harden will take. We'll take better than this year.
I'll take 25% Houston Harden.
25 and 10.
He was almost there this year.
Right.
22.
Yeah, I mean, I also think again, because of what, and people need to realize when he was in Houston, he was doing it himself. When he went to Brooklyn, he had Durant and he had Kyrie. When he came here, he's got Maxey, Harrison, and Embiid. He doesn't need to be that guy.
No.
But if he can be the facilitator and a scorer when Embiid's on the bench, that's what you want. Like Nate said, 25 to 10, 25 and 12, whatever. I think then that's worth it. And I think 25 and 12, if you get from him consistently, then I think this team, it is a team to reckon in the East. Our bench is definitely better
now. Without even out it, his numbers are good enough now. It's just the problem is what has always been his problem is he shrivels up in big moments.
Yeah.
Right.
If he can get over that hump where he shows up when you need him to show up, literally need him to show up.
Embiid's down and he
or he just show up when your number's called to be the second option.
Right.
Like, if you can do that, he'll be fine.
And that was my
Completely
issue
fine.
with him. That was
Yeah.
my issue with him this year. And
But
and
we
you know
knew
what?
that about him. He did that in Houston.
Yeah, but I guess I was sold on a bigger bill of goods that he wouldn't be that. He'd come here and he'd solve all our problems. And if Maxey takes the step to be the number 2 or 3B, then I'm fine with 25 and 10 from Harden at a cheaper rate for 2 years. No complaints on my side.
Right.
I want to know, Jim, how you're not all in on Harden after watching the video of him, Tyrese, and Sam Cassell running that drill.
Yeah, and Sam giving it to him.
Yes, and Tyrese cracking up at the end. How are you not all in on that?
Like Smitty said, how many off-season videos have we seen of players that
I know. I said that tongue firmly planted in cheek.
He's trying to start something with me because I posted I
Yeah.
sent the video.
Yeah, but Harden loves basketball.
Right.
There's a little bit different.
Yeah, Harden loves basketball.
Yeah.
Like Ben Simmons doesn't.
Like
Yeah.
you see,
Definitely.
there's videos of Harden going one-on-one on Kobe. You know what I mean? And like other, summer leagues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I actually saw that. Like I was surprised he blocked Kobe's fade. I was like, what? Wait, where?
Yeah.
I would love to see that Harden, but that was a little beard, low Caesar cut Harden. You know what I mean?
no beard, peach fuzz Harden.
Yeah, right. I was young Harden doing that. So.
So now
So,
you're tying
so
this
now I'm
into Johnny.
tying this into Johnny Hockey, right? Everybody was all excited, all geeked up. Johnny Hockey, Johnny Gaudreau's coming to the Flyers. He wants to play for his hometown team.
I still think he did.
I think he did, but that's what these athletes aren't stupid, right?
You
They want to pander to the look at all the T-shirts the coaches and the players wear. Like people are giving them
But
these
do you
shirts.
think if the Flyers offered him even like $8 million as opposed to 9.5, he comes here for Columbus?
I think if it was closer to the deal, maybe. But it was all about money because Columbus was never even in the picture, right?
Well, Columbus-
Calgary offered him a buttload, and he said no. I think he just wanted to get to Canada.
Yeah.
And then you heard it was the Devils or the Islanders,
I mean,
and all of a sudden Columbus comes out of nowhere.
Well, Columbus has a nice little squad over there.
Are they going to win?
I don't
No.
know. I mean, they got what do they got? They got Patrick Laney. They
Yeah.
got Voracek.
Voracek, yeah.
Voracek got to
Yeah.
bounce back.
Are they on the level of Tampa Bay, Colorado,
No.
Rangers, the
I mean,
Oilers?
no, but at least they have some young talent, unlike the freaking Flyers.
Yeah, no, well, yeah. It looks to me that he was just going wherever he got the biggest paycheck from.
If he was doing that, he would have stayed in Calgary.
Yeah, if that was it. then he
Well,
would've stayed
yeah,
up
but see,
where
you
he
got to
was.
understand about Calgary. Their tax brackets are so much more than the United States. You have to get overpaid in Canada to be equal here.
It's like New York versus Philly,
Yeah.
right? You're going to pay $3,000 for a one-bedroom studio in New York, and you can get a house for that in Philly
Yeah.
for a month.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the tax rates are so different and so much higher in Canada. You have to get paid more in Canada to have the equal amount of money here. So it's Calgary offered more money, but how much of that more money was he actually going to put in his pocket and not have to pay taxes? And everybody they play up the hometown thing and this and that. Apparently, he wasn't willing to take a hometown discount. He didn't want to play here that bad. And the
There was
Flyers,
no money.
right? And I was just going to say, the Flyers are in no position to be paying that kind of money unless they move some people off the roster. And right now, they can't do that.
But they can add crumbs
Right.
for some reason.
Exactly.
'Cause they're
That's
tank-
what
they're
they can
tanking.
add. So
Yeah.
that's what they're going to
Tanking for
do.
that number one pick.
Can you
know that.
tank in hockey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Aren't they trying to fix their draft system? And they'll fix it this year, and the Flyers will get screwed. They'll tank, and they'll say, halfway through the year, we're going to change
Lottery.
the draft system.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Sorry, we picked top 5 like the NBA.
yeah.
I mean, JVR screwed us twice. We haven't been. We're not getting Gaudreau because we couldn't get rid of him, and we didn't get Patrick Kane.
But did he screw us, or did the upper management screw
well,
us?
JVR got us twice. Is all I'm saying.
Comcast.
And look, he took the money.
No,
Are you going to say
I'm
no?
saying the number 2 pick.
Tom
we couldn't
Cruise.
have Kane. We could have had Kane if we
No,
had
we
won.
couldn't have, dude.
That year, if we had won, we would have had Kane. I'm saying JVR was that was like the Evan Turner, the door prize.
The hell outta
Seriously,
here.
dude, JVR, like, he's an okay hockey player. People talk about him in the town like
He's not Patrick Kane.
yeah, exactly. But here's my problem. Main problem with the Flyers.
I got multiple.
You got rid of Oscar Lindblom, who's, whatever. And San Jose picked him up right away, so I don't want to hear that he can't play. You got rid of a guy, and you brought in Delorius, who was a fighter, and you freaking brought back Matt Braun. Or whatever.
Braun. Yeah.
I don't even care what his name is.
It's coming through the thread right here. They're a dumpster fire. They're a mess.
What's the point of getting a 26-year-old defenseman, giving him $5 million, giving all your draft picks away if you're trying to tank?
You need to score to win these games, right? It's not like they got no scorers. Yeah, they're a complete mess.
Gritty, that's it. That's the Flyers. Gritty.
Yeah, that's their identity. That's their identity. We've said that many times.
Yes, we said that many times.
They should change the
That is
Flyers
so
logo
pathetic.
to freaking Gritty.
That is so
Put his face in the middle there with the wings coming off the back.
Until this team, now you're getting me started, and I don't even care that much about the freaking Flyers. Until they sell that goddamn team, they ain't going anywhere. Those guys don't care. And anybody that's out here listening that's a Flyers fans that goes to Flyers games, I urge you, because the Phillies, they did it a couple years ago, and it actually made a difference. Don't show up to that arena. That's the only way the owners are going to change. Remember when the Phillies didn't show up?
I don't think
they
are.
magically did. I'm just saying that put it in their pockets by not showing up.
I don't think they are. Attendance is down. They're not selling out.
I'm talking about. I want to be they should be the lowest attendance in the league next year.
Well,
It should be like the Tampa Bay Rays stadium.
Do you remember what happened when the Phillies? If you remember the Phillies, the year they got Harper, that offseason, they had like one of the lowest attendance in the last 10 years. That's the only way you get these owners is by put it in their freaking pocket. Who gives a shit? Stop buying the Gritty merchandise, too. I'm talking to myself, too, because I buy it. But stop buying it.
But kids love it.
I don't care. It's an embarrassment. So here's the thing. Remember we talked about yesterday, and I'm not kidding. I rank that asshole Fletcher 5th as the GM in the city, and you can put the Philadelphia Union GM. I don't even know his name.
What about 6th? Because you got the Stars now, too. Was the Stars GM?
Sixth.
Sure.
Embarrassment.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
You guys should start watching the Union over the Flyers.
I'm not going to.
That is not going to happen.
Well, you should. They're more action.
They're way better than the Flyers.
Dupe. Thank you. I know I'm not going to convince you, but they're an
you're not going to get me to a soccer game.
I don't want to. I don't care about the Flyers next year. Remember we sat here. I was thinking about this as the other night when we were talking about Flyers. You guys remember the first 2 weeks? And we had on tones and we were like, oh, man, they're back. They got back. What's his name? Atkinson. Oh,
Atkinson,
dude. Yep. Oh, yeah, they went out to Edmonton. Then what happened, dude? They suck. So even if they start 5-0, everybody relax.
Yeah.
I
try every year to be like, all right, this is the year. I'm going to get back into hockey because I loved hockey growing up.
I did too, but there's nothing. What do you like? And the other thing I'm tired of hearing too from the organizations, these young players. I've heard about Cam York being a stud defenseman. Still in the minors. Travis Konechny can't hit the net if it was 20 feet wide. All these young guys.
We got another Konechny?
That's the same one.
The same one.
Wait,
Travis.
What? Oh, yeah.
He can't hit the net.
Right.
He can't hit the net if the goal was blindfolded.
I agree with DJ. Perfect line yesterday, DJ. I hope you're listening. Provorov stinks more than provolone cheese.
Yes.
But who are you going down there to watch?
And
whose jersey are you putting on?
The other thing is they finally got themselves what I think could be a primetime goalie, and they're wasting them.
I don't think
I don't even know that.
Don't think so?
No. Maybe that guy that's in Russia.
What's he got in front of him?
Yeah, they can't get out.
Yeah,
What's he got in front of him?
Nothing.
Right.
Well, they just signed 2 defensemen that are the biggest thug in the league, right? They're the biggest enforcer in the league.
I'm also tired of the people that are like blaming Hextall. Hextall didn't trade for Ristolone.
Oh, you're get my dad fired up.
Mr. Marcus, that comment.
He said
better watch.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Hextall didn't give all those picks away. Hextall didn't trade Ghost for nothing and then sign D'Angelo. Hextall didn't trade for Ristolone or whatever the hell his name is from Buffalo and give him $5 million.
Mr. Marcus, Ron Hextall killed the Flyers with numerous awful draft picks from Joe White. Hextall was the only one that wanted Nolan Patrick. Everyone else in the organization wanted Macon.
I agree with that, but Hextall, then Fletcher could have got it and not gave out these horrible contracts.
I agree.
Horrible contract.
No clue what he's saying, but I
you
agree.
gave people-
Sounds good.
You gave people money. You gave money and draft picks to Phoenix to get Ghost, who had a 51-point season, and then you gave away all your draft picks to Carolina for the same defenseman that you had in your organization and gave him $5 million.
They're
Then
not a
you
good
traded-
organization.
right.
I don't think you're
Chuck Fletcher's an idiot.
Chuck Fletcher. And I said it in our chat last night. I don't know why Tortorella's here.
That's,
He's not going to last. He's not going to last. He's going to
not
rub.
be able to stand it.
He's not going to be able to stand it. But I think he's going to rub this organization wrong,
And that too.
and they're going to want him gone.
well, do you think that he was sold a bill of bad goods like Fletcher got him back? Oh, yeah, we're going after Johnny Hockey.
Yeah, we're going. No,
Or
I
we
don't
have
think
some superstars.
because even getting him.
I can't believe we're still talking about the Flyers.
What
I'm done
What
with
was
the Flyers.
Johnny in all seriousness? How many more wins was Johnny Hockey going to get
It's
you?
not
7.
About, it's not just about the wins.
You sure on
When
that?
you
7,
have a
I'm
guy
pretty sure.
like that, you can develop your young players. He can
Yeah,
take them
and it's
under
going to
their
put
wing.
more fannies in the seats, but it's not going to get you more wins. So, and my point goes to Tortorella wouldn't be in on that. He wouldn't care about getting Johnny Hockey because it's not going to get him that many more wins.
So why the hell did he leave ESPN a cushy job to take this trash?
Maybe
This
he was.
team's
Maybe he
worse
was
than
sending
the- Do you
sending
remember-
picks around like
do you
Sean
remember
Salisbury, and he got out. But
Gordon Bombay picked up the Mighty Ducks. That's what this team is. You say Carter Hart's good. He looks like Goldberg before he became good.
Yeah, but he's got garbage in front of him. He needs a
Just like the Mighty
defense in
Ducks
front of him.
team.
Yes.
You need Gordon Bombay.
yes.
I'm done.
we done.
Adam Banks.
Pat
We
says
done?
get you a Valium.
Who? Pat who?
Pat Sweeney.
Dude, Pat, I'm sorry. I know you love the Flyers, but they're ass.
I do agree.
apologize.
I do agree. Pat just said it's going to be fun to watch Torts melt down. I am looking forward to that. That's the one thing he'll bring to this.
Torts is
That'll be so. It'll be the identity of this team will be Gritty and Tortorella.
No, Torts
Right?
might put.
That's gonna be the
You don't think
identity-
There's a chance Torts puts Gritty out on the line.
He might. He might.
I
What
can't-
is that? Is that you, Andrew?
What did you say?
Look what I
Bring back
sent
the
you.
stat
Some
sheet.
guy
Stop.
trashed
Yeah.
the
We
Flyers.
can hear it.
Look what I sent you.
Okay, well then, if you want to contribute to the show, play what he said on the microphone. If you want to tell us.
Yeah, I was posing to you guys if the sports gods came down from heaven and said to you, "I give you the Flyers," or what was the other team? Was it the Jets?
Oh yeah, no, you said
Like,
the Commanders.
The Commanders. Who would
Yeah,
you
yeah, the
who would you rather be the owner of
I'm
right
buying
now?
the NFL team,
NFL sells.
and I'm trading Carson Wentz.
Yeah, the Commanders because the NFL
All right.
is a moneymaker.
Let's just
All right, if
call
the
it-
Flyers or a WNBA team.
Flyers. WNBA is not a moneymaker.
No.
Yeah, but we can turn it into one.
No. Nobody watches.
That's,
try.
That's
Flyers
That's
or
an insult to the females.
Flyers or bar.
I'm
in-
not trying to come across that way, but nobody watches.
That's not true. I watched the New York
All right,
Liberty.
very few watch. How about that?
All right, better. What's up?
What's your next?
Flyers or a hipster bar in Fishtown.
Oh, I might go for the bar. and fish
Yeah, there's more action going on in the bar than there is.
I'll bring Gritty to my
Flyers
bar.
He would work there. He'd have the beard,
Right.
you know, he'd fit right in. All right, we're done with hockey.
Yes.
Get to the next. No,
We're done with hockey next year on this podcast.
no, we'll never be done with hockey.
Well,
We're
dude,
going to have a special hockey correspondent. Pat Sweeney's going to be our special hockey correspondent.
all right, Pat. Well, you're correspondent. I hope you just have your line ready. The Flyers stink. Next week, the Flyers really stink.
Him and Tone should get on.
Yeah.
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 But
We'll
listen,
pay them both the same.
You know what I
We'll
hope?
double their
I'm
rates.
I'm going to tell you right now, and this is in all seriousness. I'm not being a smartass when I say this. I hope that the Flyers are really good for people like Pat Sweeney who are diehard Flyers fans. Like diehard Flyers fans that want to see them well. There's people I know that like really want to see them do well, and I would like nothing more than to be completely wrong that they are a playoff team next year. I just don't see it.
Yeah. Look, I think everybody in this room agrees that whenever a team in this city is doing well and there's playoffs, it's exciting.
Except for the
Every
No,
playoff run.
think
Yeah,
it
except
is
for the
all
Union.
bad.
I can't get
I
it.
would-
I'm sorry. I can't get it.
I mean, the Eagles were always and always will be my first team. Okay, And I get that from my dad and my brother.
Yeah, for sure.
But the Flyers were the first championship that I remember. When the Sixers won in '67, I was 3 years old.
You were 23.
Listen,
Get it right.
I'm not questioning anybody's.
So I don't remember that. But the
I love
Flyers
the
were the
Flyers.
first championship that I vividly remember in my mind's eye most of what happened. I wasn't at the parade, but I remember watching it. I remember
Remember
people
this guy right over your shoulder
All right,
here?
let me
I
let
remember
me take you
I
back.
remember people going crazy the Sunday that they won, going out in the street, climbing on buses, rocking buses back and forth.
I agree.
Climbing on street. I remember all that, and that just captivated me as a kid.
Do you know-
and it happened 2 times in a row, and I would love for that to happen again.
My thing is, and everybody but Andrew, because Andrew, you were probably just. Well, no, you.
He wasn't even a twinkle.
No.
No,
What I hope this
No, I was not.
You know what I hope this free agency was going to be like? About 14 years ago, when the Flyers were really bad, and then they went out and signed Danny Briere, right? And it didn't make a huge difference that first year, but they gave an 8-year deal, and the team got better. That's what I was hoping they would go into free agency. They would dump some contracts like they did with Briere back in the day. They weren't as good, but then they got like a headline player. Mm-hmm. And I think Gaudreau would have been that headline player. Do I think Gaudreau makes them a Stanley Cup contender? Absolutely not. Does Gaudreau make them fun to watch? And does Gaudreau make me think the owners give a shit about winning? Because I sure as hell don't care when you sign, Delorsi and freaking Braun for the 3rd time. That's my problem with the Flyers.
For 1.7 mil.
No shown. No, like...
There's no effort into this team.
That's why I'm so glad you have the Phillies. Like, look, the Phillies, again, I'll get started on them later because they're on my list too. But the Sixers and the Eagles. The one thing I can say about all 3 teams this offseason, regardless if they get it right,
They're
they
trying.
all are trying.
They're trying.
The Flyers are not. And that's the most disheartening thing.
Because they're owned by Comcast, who does not give 2 craps about what they do.
Then sell the team to Josh Harris.
Sell the team to somebody.
they're not going to sell the team until they stop.
They break
making
even.
money.
They got to break even.
That's why I tell you, don't show up.
Yeah, and I think that's happening. It's not happening
It's
as
not.
much as it could,
There's
but
like-
it's happening.
listen,
Yeah,
they
there's-
don't sell out.
They
When
don't.
was the last time the Flyers sold out?
Listen,
They still have like 5,000 people showing up there to the
No,
game.
5,000.
No,
I'm
they got
talking-
more
have
than
like
that.
14,000. I want it to go down to like 8 or 6,000.
They still have about probably 15 to
Right.
18,000 showing
On a
up.
Saturday night, they're pretty packed.
Yeah,
For what?
but
I
they're
say we get
not
it all.
selling
The Pico
out.
Power Play, Tasty Cakes, whatever. What the hell are people doing down there? Going to that thing in the gritty?
I
where
think
you
we
can
get-
go
That
around and
gritty.
beat the crap out
If
of
it's
things?
that cheap, we go down there, we get a suite,
I was about to say.
we get a box.
All right,
We get a box, we'll go down there, we'll boo the whole time. That's
I'm
what we
in.
do.
I'm in. We'll all get Fletcher sucks.
And then we'll
Fletcher's
be
gotta
shown
go.
the door.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Buy one, get
It's
one
not
free.
like we haven't been shown
Did
the
you see
door
what-
by Frat at the Phillies game a couple years
Yeah.
ago.
Years ago, Joe White's brother, when the Sixers were tanking year after year, Joe White's brother Tom bought 2 rows of seats, I think, just because, and I think it was $12 to buy 2 rows of seats.
Wow.
And he went down and bought 2 rows. And just he brought a couple friends or whatever along. I think he was still coaching at the time. Brought some players that he was coaching down, and just hung out in the 2 rows. And he got 2 rows of seats for $12.
Listen. All right.
All right.
Next
Who
topic.
do you want to rip now? You Eagles or Phillies?
It's not that- I don't want to rip the. Listen, next topic.
We can
Next
rip
topic.
any team we want to.
Whatever. I'm not ripping the Sixers. I don't right now. I can't.
All right, let's.
I can rip Doc Rivers a new one, but
Dude,
don't have the
that's,
time and
that's been
effort.
a while.
We'll move on to the Eagles. There's been a little bit of Eagles news this week, and we talked about it a bit before coming on the show. MVP odds are out there. There's a lot of hype around Jalen. A lot of football minds love him. He's going to have a great season. You know, he's one of the top. Although I did see a report earlier that he's not one of the top 25 under 25. I thought that was a bit of a disservice to him. But there was this report that came out of nowhere. It was OTAs back in April, March. Jalen, what he said, they said he threw 3
10 plays
picks.
stripped. Yeah.
Was it 3 picks and 4 sacks or something silly like
It
that?
was-
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and I think it was 4 sacks, 3
no, I thought it was 3 picks,
It was-
4.
sacks, And 3
and
completions.
In 10 plays.
Yeah.
4 sacks and like 7 incompletions or something.
It's
It's all that. I don't care.
I frankly, I don't care what happens in May either.
I think he's just full of shit, the guy that said that, but
Yeah, but Derrick Guns usually legit.
well, that's where
Derrick Gunn is legit.
So he got it from somebody, because there are people that were at the OTAs that said that didn't happen. Like when AB and I were going back, there are people that were at that practice media that said that didn't happen.
and they're his teammates, which you expect the teammates to do.
I mean, that would. I'm not.
But I was surprised that D Gun ran with the story because he's good. He's got his connections with the team. And I would think a guy like him, he checks with somebody. He calls one of his buddies that are actually down there and still connected. Hey, did you see this? I feel like he didn't do that this time.
Well,
he just ran with the story.
He's swearing up and down with it. So
is he just looking for clicks? And
Maybe.
likes?
I mean, he's got that new podcast, and he's not working for any of the stations now, so he's
Right.
trying to.
And he's looking to build an audience, maybe. I can't see D Gunn going that route. He's too reputable.
So you believe
he's
it?
too legit. I don't know what to believe, but what I don't want to believe is Derrick Gunn doing that. You know, for clicks.
I don't think he
and
did it
likes
for
and
clicks.
trying to
I
build,
think somebody
trying
fed
to
him
build an audience.
bad information, and he just ran with it. Because here's my thing.
But don't you think he, like Jim said, he would have double checked it?
But
You got to double source something
okay,
like that.
But let me ask you this: if it was
Triple source.
if it was 2 months ago, Elliott Shore Parks is there every day. You're telling me Elliott Shore Parks wouldn't have? He freaking scripts
Yeah.
what Hurts does. You're telling me
Yeah.
nobody that was at that practice would have said, "Oh, he was horrible."
So what you're
Nobody-
saying is somebody
But-
else that would have been there would have said the same thing.
But maybe those are the experienced beat reporters that know this means nothing. So there's.
Yeah, but so
there-
does Derrick
he's-
Gunn.
But if he's not there and he's getting it from a second source and he should have called the ESPs and
Yeah.
McLean, the guys that you trust a little bit more. Not
Yeah.
that Elliott Shore Parks is the most trustworthy, but
No.
yeah, it's strange that those reports are coming out
We're
now.
going to get slammed from WIP now.
Look out! Best show ever. Best show. Or no, that's the
that's
Fanatic.
the States.
Sorry, it's the Fanatic. But we can all agree that Hurts is under the microscope this year, right? I feel like
Yeah.
and it's probably because of who I follow on Twitter, but I feel like every fourth or fifth tweet, it's something about Hurts, comparing him to this quarterback, comparing him to
Yeah.
that quarterback, his stats, what he's done wrong, what he's done right. He's definitely under a microscope this year.
Sure. As
And-
he should be. As he should be.
He should be.
I mean, listen, there's a lot worse quarterbacks you could have than Jalen Hurts. I know our, special guest Hurts hater, AB wouldn't agree, but there's a lot worse quarterbacks in this league that you could get. I know he thinks his arm and nothing, but you can't tell me. Talent makes everyone around you better. And the thing that I want people to continue to remember is that Devontae Smith was a rookie last year, and Jalen Reagor is hot garbage. Those were his 2 number ones last year. Like everybody's like Devontae Smith, Heisman, great, but coming into the league, there's an adjustment period.
There's a growing period, a learning
So
period. Absolutely.
with AJ Brown, Goddard, the line's great.
I wouldn't say it's great. It's
The
good.
line is the best line in
offensive
football.
line is
the
top
best
notch.
line in football.
old.
Yeah,
No,
but it's top notch.
It's
No,
not,
it's
as
not
old
that
as you
old.
Still
think,
top
dude.
notch.
It's not
Not
as old
that
as you think.
now that Peters is gone.
Yeah, Kelsey. All right,
Kelsey's the oldest one online. You got
Kelsey is-
Mailata, his
No.
26.
And what? Lane Johnson's 30?
Is he that
That's-
old?
Mailata,
He
I
came
think he's
here
like
at 20.
26.
He came here at 20.
No, he didn't.
He hasn't
He
been
came
here.
at like 22. 23.
No, 20.
Mailata?
Yeah.
Milata, he's like 23, 23, 24.
Maybe he is. Maybe you're right.
I thought he was a little older.
But anyway, and the other thing that John Ritchie made a good point yesterday that other people don't realize is that the running game was so great last year because of Hurts.
25.
He's 25.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like his ability to know when to either hold on to the ball or to give it off to the running back. Like that's something that people overlook. Okay, is his arm got to get better? Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, it does. It does need to get better.
It needs to get better,
his reads
I-
to get better.
The offense, they need to build the offense around him better too, which I think
Right.
that's part of Sirianni's learning
But
curve,
A.J.
right?
Brown?
AJ Brown is to me. AJ Brown is the key piece to this season because we know Jalen did not look across the middle of the field.
Right.
That's where AJ Brown is going to earn his
Goddard,
money.
too.
So that's the weapon that he needed. He needs to get comfortable with that.
Right.
And we were looking at the MVP odds. He's in the top 10.
Really?
He's plus 2,000, but
I
among
mean,
quarterbacks,
He's set up for success and improvement. This
But then
year.
now the thing is that we're going to run into now is if he has a good year, you're going to be in that same situation that Baltimore's in now. Are you paying him?
What do you do?
Are you going to pay him 35 to 40 million because that's the going rate for a quarterback?
what are you going to do? You got to look at the free agent quarterbacks and
Oh,
hope you can get one of them, or are you going to?
everybody, like, which I don't agree with, like AB and them saying like, oh well, you have a closet full of picks, and then
Yeah.
and draft somebody. But here's the thing, drafting somebody takes you back.
Yeah.
Yep. And I know the college football
this
season
team-
hasn't even started,
This
but
team's built now to win.
Bryce Young,
Is
he doesn't look like he has a NFL body. And I shouldn't say because Hurts he's looking bigger now, but I don't think Bryce Young's got a football body.
no.
Neither do I.
Or the C.J. Stroud.
and
CJ
Stroud-
Ohio State quarterbacks. Just look at this.
Yeah, I have no faith in Ohio
yeah,
State
exactly.
quarterbacks.
I wouldn't put any faith in Ohio
But
State
that's what I'm
quarterback.
saying. Like, so, like, I don't know. And then if you're, I know that you guys might not agree with this, but if A.J. Brown came here, because I think one of the reasons why A.J. Brown did want to come here is Hurts. They pull the rug under him next year. You're like, all right, Hurts is out. Brown,
Just slapped in the
think
face.
Brown's gonna be pissed,
Yeah, he's gonna be heated.
Yeah, but he's got paid.
especially if it's to go get somebody in the first round. These guys want to win now.
Yeah, I hear
Slay
you.
wants to win now.
But at that point, what are you going to do? You
he-
signed a 4-year contract,
Ah,
right?
He might
Five.
feel butthurt for
A little bit.
a little bit, but
But do you agree that draft
the
packs set you up?
paycheck plus the chance to win a ring will quickly smooth
I
that
agree,
over.
but a draft pick does not. Like if you go and get a Stroud or you go and get the quarterback
What
from
I
Bama,
see what he's saying.
what does that do?
Yeah.
You're basically setting back yourself. You have to
Your organization
Like,
is,
I- and
you
going
have-
backwards.
and you
I
have
get
to
it. I get it.
Like,
set
I
out.
said
You have to
this year, like,
relearn the
if
Yeah,
playbook.
you have to reset the
If you wanted
organization.
to trade for a quarterback, it was this year. Right?
Yeah, with
Like,
everybody that
if
got
you want-
traded.
Like Nate said, Russell Wilson, right? Like you go all in with somebody that's proven. But you go and draft C.J. Stroud or you draft a kid from Bama.
Yeah, they're
Now
top
you're
notch.
2 or 3 years again.
Yeah.
And you're
Shit,
2 or
with
3
this
years
roster,
older.
We had Wilson, and we talking Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
Without a doubt.
They probably
With-
can't afford A.J. Brown.
I was going to say, was that with or without A.J. Brown? You think they still get him with?
Right, right.
I don't think they need him with Russell Wilson.
Either.
But, yeah.
If he was here or not.
It's
You're
much
still talking Super
easier.
Bowl with Wilson here.
Yeah, I mean, you guys
With
might,
that offensive line, Wilson's never had an offensive line.
What do you
Yeah.
think about Watson? Would you would have took him? Still?
I would have took Watson too. Absolutely.
Yeah, see, I can't.
Nah, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Not with all that
Jim,
garbage
are you the same way?
and
You didn't want
baggage.
him, or
Not with everything that's going on.
No, I
just-
couldn't root for him. I wouldn't be able to root for him.
I mean, who else was available? Like,
Rogers.
Yeah, I don't think he was
Rodgers wasn't
really
coming in.
available.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think he was.
He just
either.
wanted the
Baker,
money, and he
I
got
mean,
it.
Jimmy
Baker.
Garoppolo?
Yeah, Baker. I mean, there are
If
names out there.
Jimmy's here, they're
breaking out.
talking Super Bowl.
You know what?
Jimmy
If-
Garoppolo?
You think?
Yes.
You
absolutely.
look at what he's done. I think he's got a 70% winning rate.
He's
He's not a
Aaron
horrible.
Rodgers.
Hey, he's
been
got.
to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If I
He's
was
been to a-
Carolina, I
he's
would have
been to
traded
two
for
NFC
Garoppolo
championship
instead of
games.
Baker.
He's been to two
But
Super
to be
Bowls.
honest,
No, one Super Bowl,
Two.
two NFC
Two.
championships.
He's been to
actually
two
think-
Super Bowls.
I actually think Baker's going to
The
do
Chiefs,
good
when
in
they were in Miami,
I
that
do.
COVID year,
That offense is
the year before COVID.
Yeah.
Matt Rule's offense
And then
is
this-
tailored to a quarterback like that.
No, it was one Super Bowl in the NFC championship game. They lost to
To the Rams.
to the Rams.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, you could have traded for Stafford last year. or 2
Wasn't he
years
on
ago.
the 2017 when they lost to the Eagles, the Patriots team?
Was he the
Jimmy
backup
G?
still
Yeah.
then?
I think he was a backup to Brady then.
He's been to a Super Bowl with Brady.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
might have been
but-
that
but
year.
As a
He didn't
starter,
play, yeah.
As a starter, he's been the one.
Yeah, as a starter, but he's been the two.
If we're throwing this out right now, like we're talking about all these scenarios, right? And it's early, right? It's July 14th.
And
But I want you to think about this. let's take the timeshare and go a year ahead right now.
So you're saying
Is Jalen Hurts going to be the starter beyond this year? Right now, if I
Going
asked
into
you,
the 24 season.
23, right?
No. Or yeah, I'm sorry. Going into the 23
If
season.
I said to you right now, next year at this time, is he your quarterback? What are you
Yes.
saying?
I'm saying yes.
I'm saying yes. too.
I would most likely say yes, but not entirely sold.
Why?
on it.
Look what
So
they
you're-
did. Look what they did this
Because
offseason.
I have to see a certain amount of him.
Right, because if they shit the bed, he's not
a
going to be
baby
Yeah.
step forward from him
No.
isn't going to do it for me. I
No.
have to see.
You want to see some
big
downfield
leaps.
throws. You want to
Yes.
see some better
I
reads.
need to see big step forwards from this guy where he's making significant improvement with reading a defense, going through his progressions, getting the ball downfield, being accurate, and pocket presence and awareness, and not being so quick to scramble and go to run. Try and take what the defense gives you. If they give you the running back in the flat, throw it to him. If they give you a guy crossing the middle 10 yards downfield, get it to him. You don't have to take a 30-yard pass downfield every time. I want to see those types of improvements from this guy before I'm sold on him. Baby steps isn't going to cut it.
I agree with
I
you.
need significant improvement out of it.
Do you-
Because, like I said earlier, the team is set up to win now
You get
on
1%.
both sides of the ball. It's the coaching staff has got a lot of pressure on them,
And-
too. They got to step up and meet these
If you
this new high standard that Howie Roseman gave them
Yeah.
on both sides of the ball
And
through the draft
if
and
you
through signings.
if you look at it, Jimmy G, he's a good quarterback, but his coaching staff's also really good. His head coach.
Yeah.
Him with Sirianni, I don't think he's as good as he is
yeah,
in San Fran.
He's got
Johnny
better
Buchanan,
weapons. Prior to AJ Brown coming here, I'd say San Fran. He had some better weapons than
and
what
it's
we
better
have here.
coaching.
Debo, Kittle.
Debo, Kittle,
Yeah.
Ayuk. I mean, the only thing I might give us the edge in is their running back because San Fran was running through different running backs every
Yeah.
other week. It seemed like.
Do you think he's the starter? Fast forward a year?
If I have to answer right now, yes.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, way too early. So here's another way too early. Is it playoffs or bust? Like
Yes.
there's people saying, I think we even said it again, way too early, that the Eagles should win the East. If they don't make the playoffs,
They
That's
made
a
the
shitty
playoffs
season?
last year.
I know they did. They
So
snuck
they
in.
have to make the.
Okay.
When you look at everything happened this offseason,
Hassan Reddick,
plus
you
the fact
rebuilt
that they made the
defense.
playoffs last year,
Rebuilt the
they
defense.
have to win.
And the defense,
They have to make the playoffs.
they
should win the East, and they have to get a playoff win.
Bradbury, Braddock,
made
Dean.
they made big improvements on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
Dream team.
I want to go that
Just
far.
remember that. Just remember that. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, but
Somebody's got to play devil's advocate in here. You got to keep everybody
Here's
honest.
one thing
We
about-
can't be homers.
Which you guys are going to be surprised about. This time next year, Miles Sanders is still starting running.
No,
back
the
for
hell
Eagles.
he's not.
Dude, two Eagles insiders said that they're working on getting him on like a cheaper deal because they think they can get him
I
at 3.
think the way that running backs are going in this league, that wouldn't surprise me because
I think he's going to.
I don't think he's going to get paid a lot of money by anybody.
No, and I think.
And
they'll
if
be
he
back
has
there
a
on,
good
like,
season-
short-term deal. Yeah.
Is that a bad thing?
No, I'm saying it's a good thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing either.
I'm not. I'm saying because a lot of us have said Miles Sanders is probably gone. Like they don't think.
I
they
thought
can
he'd be
sign
gone.
him.
But if
I
he has a
think he's
decent
back.
season,
Yeah.
he's just so unpredictable.
They're
You don't
not-
know.
The problem is that one of the things I was
And
reading
the
too.
only thing I don't like about AJ Brown is you never know what injury he's gonna have.
Yeah.
week to
He's
week.
had 1 or 2 injuries. Stop with the injury label.
Has he
He's-
played a full season?
One.
Yes.
No.
His rookie season,
His
right? Was the only
one,
season he. Yeah, I thought we looked at this, and he missed a couple games each year.
He looked.
He lost a half
he
the
had-
season, right? And then
He played about the total of the most I think he's played was a half a season.
No.
No,
played
he's-
more. Get the hell out of here,
he's missed a couple games here and there. I don't think he's.
dude.
I think
what are
it-
you smoking tonight? What are you smoking?
So just staying on this topic, you made it clear that you think
Hold
they
on.
need to get to the playoffs.
He's played
16 games in 2019, 14 games in 2000, the year after, and 13. So he's missed a
So he's
total
missed.
of,
That's
like-
it. He missed a couple. I thought he missed a half season, but he's missed
Nah,
games every
he's
season,
missed-
other than one.
Yeah, so he's missed 2 games 1 year and 3 games, 5 and 3 seasons.
Was this? He was still on his rookie deal. I guess he
Yeah.
was.
Yes,
All
they
right.
gave him
Yeah.
an extension.
All right.
Yeah, 16 games, 14 games, and 13 games. 43 games he's played.
So say they don't make the playoffs because it's some freak reason. injuries on the defensive side of the ball or something like that.
Yeah.
Jalen still has a good season. Does that?
Then they probably do bring him back. It depends. It really depends on like what. I don't know.
Like, is he tied to?
Like, if you get multiple injuries, like you did on the defensive line, and the defense sucks, and the offense isn't the problem, then yeah, probably.
Okay.
But there's a lot of people out there that just say, well, we need to see improvement from him. But my thing is, if he improves, the team should win. If he's improving and the team's not winning, that's a problem.
And that would go back on coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think with all these
What's Vegas
questions
at, 8.5?
and
I don't know.
with all these questions on Hurts, I think as much, maybe even a little bit more, there are question marks on Gannon and Sirianno. They both have to step up.
I agree.
Because they've both been handed, on both sides of the ball, they've both have been handed a team ready and set up to win now.
I agree. 100%.
Hold on, I'm looking at the team futures here real quick for Smitty. Go ahead, talk amongst yourselves.
Well, what else? I think Gannon's
Well, Pat Sweeney's asking, is Sirianno a good coach, and can he be a championship coach? I'm not sold on a championship coach yet. I think it's a little too early. I think he can be a good coach because he showed the ability to adjust last year from trying to fit a round peg into a square hole into, from the passing game, adjusting to the running game and getting that string of wins together that got them into the playoffs. He needs to be able to make those adjustments on the fly like he did last year, and pick up on what's working on maybe even from a week-to-week basis, not just a season-long basis, but from a week-to-week basis, going with the hot hand. What's working? What can we? What do we think will work this year or this week after looking at tape of this team? He's really, really got to step up and perform better than he did last year. But I like the way he adjusted from the passing game to the running game and got that string of wins. And Gannon, I think he needs to play a more in-your-face on the outside.
Yeah, he's got the players to do it.
And that's what I was going to say. He's got the players to do it. He's got to bring them up. You can bump, up to 5 yards. I say bump up to 5 yards. Let him go at it. And, a lot of pass routes in the NFL are all about timing, the receiver being in a certain spot at a certain time. And if you upset that timing, then you throw off the route. That gives a blitzer, or it gives the line that extra split second to get to the quarterback and just blow up the whole play. If you can disrupt that timing on the outside. So I think he needs, and he's got the players to do it. I think he needs to get up in the receivers' faces. Don't peel back. And God, please don't play that picket defense. And don't line up 10 yards off the ball when it's 3rd and 7. Get up in their face. And don't give him that cushion. I'm more worried about him than I am Sirianno. I think Gannon's got more to prove because he needs to, with the weapons he's got now, he's got more to prove. Did you get your info? Did I talk long enough?
That's 9.5, Smitty.
9.5.
9.5 is the line on DraftKings. Anyhow, at DraftKings it may be different on different books, but DraftKings has it at 9.5.
Is there anything else we want to cover on the Eagles?
No, we could jump to the Phillies. You want to jump to the Phillies?
No.
Joe wants
All-Star
to cover,
game.
What did he call him?
What do you want to talk about?
Let's rip the COVID Phillies, Joe.
See,
White.
I don't care. So I'm not even like. I'm not going there with that because I think
Every comment has got Smitty's just
no. I mean like
heated.
There's people like reacting about what JT said about like the 250,000 ain't nothing. I mean,
Dude, I don't know about you, but I ain't sniffing it.
I'm not either. But again, like this is what we've created in our society to these guys
by paying
these guys a lot of money.
Absolutely.
So what he's basically looking at, which we're not looking at, is like it's basically a day of pay, which is what we would lose. But obviously how he said it, but I don't care. But here's my thing about the shot. Like they don't want to get it. Whatever. I'm not gonna you know what I mean? And they're all from down south, so read between the lines of the guys that haven't got it.
But how about the Royals though? Isn't it the Royals? They got like 11 guys that can't
Wait
go.
a minute, they are from down south. Boom's from down south. Nola's from down south, and
Right, Joe.
JT's from down south.
Okay, that's 3 out of 25.
No, the ones that didn't get the shot on the Phillies.
Follow
their political beliefs.
Okay, yeah.
That was absolutely gross what I just saw come out of your mouth, Smitty.
What?
All the spit you just squirted all
I
over.
didn't see anything.
Like a
I didn't
sprinkler
either.
over there.
And you were facing me.
Joe White just said it.
Yeah,
It's the Royals. 10 players couldn't go up there for their series.
First of all, I think it's bullshit that in the
And they're
baseball
winning.
you can go
Are they
anywhere.
winning?
They're winning.
The Royals are winning.
I knew
You
they
should have
would
put
win.
money on that, right? It's
like,
that's,
I posted it.
Don't,
Oh.
I was like, give me the dog.
I just feel like it's ridiculous. Like everywhere else you can go, but
yeah. I feel like
Toronto.
I feel like everybody's over it now. At this
Yeah, I
point, it's
mean,
just like you didn't get a shot.
right,
Nah.
exactly.
All right.
Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
But what my problem with the Phillies is well, I got multiple, but they're making me regret when I said they're a contender because they were up 2 games. St. Louis do the right thing, and they just completely crapped the bed. And the problem is they're not getting production other than if you're named Schwarber or
Well, see,
Haas.
that's it.
Boom has actually been
And Boom,
producing.
Yeah.
But Castellanos ain't doing
He ain't doing
shit.
anything.
He's got,
Schwarber's cooled off a bit
No, he hasn't.
over the last couple games against St. Louis
He hit 3 home runs.
and over Toronto.
All right, I'll give you Toronto, but Schwarber ain't the problem.
He's got-
I'm not saying he is.
The Dingerville
It's a
board.
combination.
Raymuto,
Castellanos
Didi.
hasn't done a damn thing all
Didi.
season.
Odubel.
Well, dude,
A douchebag.
take the entire allotment of center fielders and just cast the ball out to
Well, I
center.
like Veer.
Every single one of them. No, and all of them combined, if you were to take the best aspect of each one, you're still not going to have a solid center fielder.
Ready for this take? Because this is going to get DJ going. Is he would listen?
I don't know.
Dude, Derrick Hall is not.
He's not it.
He's not the
But
future. and
you
he's
just said
not-
Veerling too. I don't want to. Why is everybody excited about Veerling?
No,
like he just
Veerling at
doesn't.
least plays defense in the center field. That's why I like him. He's got some timely hits.
Moniak is horrible. He needs to go back down the
But
triple.
he's not up. He's
He's in
No,
AAA.
he's not up. He needs.
Who's
cut.
the other one? Who's the
He's,
other one?
he's not in. He's not
We
a
should have
major league
traded
player.
when he had this all-time
Yeah.
spring
Who's the
training.
other one that's up?
Veerling.
No, there's another
But the
one
big
that's up.
problem is that they're pitching. Like Eflin, F him. He's always hurt.
There.
There's another one that I'm thinking of.
What's his name? Kyle Gibson. 1 out of 5 starts.
Gibbons?
He's good. Yeah, Gibbons. One out of 5 starts. You get a good start from him.
That's
Ranger
the-
Suarez. He's hurt.
That's
Zach
the
Wheeler,
problem with this team.
Zach
is
Wheeler, he got lit up, but I'll give him a pass. Aaron Nola, you're having a good year, but when you need to win,
you get no
you
runs.
shouldn't have been.
You get no runs.
Are they
Oh.
making the playoffs?
It depends. How
2
quick
weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, yes.
It
Today,
depends.
probably.
Nate, I'm going to be honest. It depends how quick Harper gets back and his Castellanos turn it around the second half. If Harper's out till late August and Castellanos does not hit or Raymuto doesn't step up, they make the playoffs.
What does Nick have to do? Like,
He
does
has-
somebody need to go over to the house and sage the house? Do they just got to say, like, look, Nick, we'll rent you a nice condo in the city.
Why?
Just get out of Ben Simmons' house?
Because you're fired up.
Yeah.
Is that really the issue? He's got the
That's-
bad
yeah,
aura
he's
of Ben
fireable.
Simmons hanging
Probably.
over him?
Probably.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
He's what is it? He's got
What-
eight home runs and like 45 RBIs or something like
Dude.
that.
Does he even have
He was
45?
the guy that you were supposed to count on if Harper went down.
Yeah,
I'll look it
Schwarber.
up.
Schwarber's been a very pleasant surprise. Like, you thought he'd be good, but the board says it. He's only 2 behind the lead. Aaron Judge has 30 home runs. Schwarber's got 28.
Didi, he sucks.
But how much were you expecting out of Didi?
I mean, when we paid him $14 million, I'm expecting a home run. He don't even got a freaking home run this year.
He's
Stubbs
a
does.
shortstop. They don't hit
Yeah.
home runs.
Look at Didi's numbers, dude. He's had 30 home runs a couple times in his career.
Yeah, but he's not that Didi from the
Right.
Yankees anymore.
Right.
He's
Right.
Okay, well, Garrett Stubbs hit more home runs than Didi.
This team's got holes, and
Do you trade Hoskins?
I don't know.
yes.
'Cause
I've been saying it
Yo,
since the season
here's
started.
When I started my theory. Trade Hoskins, put Raymuto at first, and bring up Ohapi as your catcher.
Stubbs. Leave Stubbs
I
in
was going to say,
catcher.
you don't
right?
want Stubbs?
No, Ohapi, I think is a real deal. He's top. I think he's
This
gonna be
team
good.
doesn't bring those young guys up.
Well, they
You know
need
they
to.
don't do that.
Well, do you really? All right, let me ask you: how many of you guys believe in Derrick Hall? Derrick Hall can hit.
He's
a
a nice
fastball.
story.
Yeah, but look
But-
at the fastball up top. He can't hit it.
Who was the kid
If
with
you
the
throw him
with
a
the hat
breakaway-
last year? Not Jankowski, not Joe Dirt. There was the other kid. His first hit was a home run, and he's a local kid.
Luke Williams.
Yeah,
He's
the
good.
Phillies.
The
But that's what I'm saying. The Phillies
the
get
Marlins do good.
every year. One of these guys shows up on the Phillies. We get all geeked up
Right.
because he's got a couple hits because the
We don't have Brad
the
Miller
pitchers
with-
don't know how to pitch to him. He gets lucky. Yeah, Brad Miller with the
Once they get some footage on him and
Do you
study
think Derrick
study the
Hall
video,
is a future first baseman here?
no.
Hell no. I would
He has
trade
8.
him.
No.
Nick has 8 home runs and 46
That's
RBIs.
horrible. He was
He's
a
got
silver
46.
slugger
I
man.
thought he didn't even have that
That's
many. That's what I was
horrible.
asking.
It's horrible for.
He's
he's
been
lost.
he's been a disappointment. Did he come from the American League?
No, he came from Cincinnati.
From Cincinnati.
But he's
So it's not
worse.
like he's facing pitching he hasn't seen before.
No.
I don't know what
Have you
happened
watched
with this
him?
guy.
He swings at every pitch.
Yeah, I know. He's all over the place. I don't think he has an idea of what he wants to do when he goes up there. He has a flash here and there where he's had, 2-3 hits a game, but then he falls back into his ruts again, and it's like, what's
No,
going
you
on
watch.
with this guy?
You watch. Second half, he's going to become a stud.
That's fine.
Listen, we need it.
He has to. He has to
How
pick
many-
it up.
He's a second
and
half-
and I'm
he's a
tired.
second half
and
player.
The thing
whole
that
better be a
bugs me
second
the
half
most
team.
is when I hear on-air
That too.
people and callers calling into the radio shows and saying, "Oh, he's historically he's a very good hitter. Just give him time; it's going to come around." We're in the middle of July. I'm tired of waiting for him to come around. He needs to come around tomorrow.
How about this? Are you guys tired of the bullpen games every week?
Don't get
Bailey
me started.
Falter sucks.
Don't get me started on what happened to the fifth starter in Major League Baseball. What the hell
That
happened
was
to the
Kyle
fifth starter?
Gibbons.
These bullpen starts drive me
No,
up a
but
freaking wall.
Literally, the Phillies.
Let me
don't
tell
have
you something, though.
anybody.
The Phillies bullpen, insane.
Except for Familia.
Yeah, yeah.
Get his ass out of here.
In my lifetime, I think pitchers there was only 4 in the starting rotation, not 5.
Yeah.
In my lifetime, so that meant starters were going every 4 days, not every
I
5.
thought it was 3.
No. I don't think it's ever
Let
been
your
3.
father talk.
And
All right,
so
sorry, Smitty.
There was only 2 back in his day when he first started.
Oh,
Satchel
man.
pitched every day.
yeah.
Wow.
Although during the stretch run of the '64
Oh,
season,
now you got him on the history.
Yeah, dude.
it was a
I
2-man
was on the
rotation with
toilet
Kurt Simmons and
watching.
Chris Short.
1964, I was sitting on my toilet, looking at the Daily News and the
Nah,
standings.
I was still in diapers.
And
I didn't
it-
have to worry about sitting on the toilet.
Toilet. It was the outhouse. They didn't have plumbing back then.
The elder statesman.
Where was I? Oh yeah,
fifth starter.
They only pitched on 4 days. Then they went to a fifth starter. Now they evolved into this goddamn freaking bullpen start.
The
What hell
long,
is
the
that?
long,
What is
the
that?
long stretch or whatever it
Why
is.
where is the fifth
Yo,
starter?
It's not that. It's that they're hurt. Listen, here's their 5. Noah.
No. This shit started before they started getting hurt.
Yo, Deke, let him explain.
Noah, Eflin, or Noah.
Wheeler.
Well, I'm gonna go.
Wheeler should be number
Wheeler,
1.
Yeah.
Noah.
Eflin,
No.
Suarez,
Suarez
Gibbons.
Gibby,
and Ephraim.
and Eflin.
That's the last. They're the 5. Ephraim can't stay healthy.
Givey, what about Givey?
He's an inning eater.
And instead of having a bullpen
Get him
starter,
some
why can't you
Amadeus.
bring up your best pitcher from AAA and have him start the
They
fifth
don't
game?
have any pitchers. Christopher Sanchez is the
Well,
best
would you
pitcher.
rather the the
I'd rather
number
see
1
Mark
starter in
Appel.
AAA or a freaking 2 innings here,
Dude,
2 innings there?
That's what I'm telling you. Christopher Sanchez is their number 1 AAA pitcher.
Well, then bring him up for a
He-
fifth
Is
start.
he a starter or is it?
Pitching. Billy Falter, too. They both suck.
He's horrible. That's all he does is falter.
Joe White says that Eflin is far from returning too.
Yeah, I know. That's what Stark said. He said, don't get excited, Philly fans. So it's going to be another bullpen game in Miami.
No, we have Givey tomorrow.
So a
We
question
don't.
Yes, we do. It's Givey tomorrow.
Okay, then you have Suarez.
came through in our group chat earlier in the week. Is that Thompson deserve an extension.
I say yes still. Right now.
You
I
think still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
If they get the wild card, definitely. But if
No,
they
I think
completely
The dude
shit the
definitely
bed
slams beers on the weekends.
that's why
in the dugout.
that's why I have Dombrowski's the third best GM. You want to know why? First of all, he's never made the playoffs. I don't care. He's only been here 2 years. Second of all, if you look at his moves,
Dombrowski's moves?
what are the best ones? All right, Brad Hand this year. All right, I'll give you that.
Kyle Schwarber.
Tell me how good. Tell me how good the starters were last year that he signed. Tell me how good Familia is at $5 million. Tell me how great Didi is at $14 million.
Did Didi get the extension last year? Or was
Didi
that
got
was...
it when Dombrowski came last year.
Okay, I thought he was still on the original contract
No,
when he
he
came over.
signed a 1-year deal, and then they gave him one with a 2-year deal.
Okay.
But look at the moves that
that's
he's
not
made.
good.
He brought back Herrera. What has he done? All right, I'll give you Schwarber Castellanos. All right,
I won't even give you Castellanos at this
but I'm
point.
just saying,
Yes.
Like what Dombrowski's known for is at the deadline he needs to put up and get something.
Well,
I
that's
don't wanna
are
hear
we
if they're-
buyers or sellers?
They're
We're
buyers.
sellers.
No, shut up. They're buyers.
What is the deadline?
Listen,
They should be buyers.
if they sweep the Marlins, I'm back on. But I'm gonna tell you right now,
No.
I got a bad feeling that they're gonna lose 2 out of 3 in Miami.
Let me tell you, they got Gibby tomorrow
Yeah, they
night.
suck
Yeah,
against
yeah,
Miami.
Joe, first
Then
Joe
they're
Roy says
undecided against
it should be
Trevor
Gibson, Nola,
Rogers.
and Wheeler this weekend. Then he says right now it is Gibson, TBA, and Nola.
Right.
What happened to Wheeler?
Wheeler just pitched the other night. Got lit up
Yeah.
yet last night.
So it goes Gibby, undecided, Nola.
So it's gonna be
How about-
freaking Christopher Sanchez or Bailey Falter.
And then
Saturday night.
for undecided is their ace,
What
Trevor
if they-
Rogers.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so they'll throw out the stinker again.
Yeah.
They're going against their best pitcher. Throw the stinker out, then just give up that game.
May as well let Familia
Just give up that
throw
game.
out his freaking arm. Let him
I
pitch the
will-
whole game.
I will continue to root for and watch the Phillies this season.
Oh, yes.
But I am not jumping back on the bandwagon until
Now you've been
Wait,
fooled
you were
twice.
on.
You've been fooled twice
You're
now.
like me now?
Huh?
You're back off again?
what?
You're back off again?
He's been
No,
on.
I just said I will continue to watch and
No, we were
support
all
them.
talking playoffs. I'm saying, are you back?
But
believing-
I'm not going to be saying, oh, they're going to meet. I'm not going to
We said
announce
that.
they're making the
Oh my
playoffs.
We
God.
said that before.
We just
Yeah,
stated that.
Yeah, I'm not going to say they're going to make the playoffs. I'm
Dude,
not
so
convinced.
You're with me.
I'm not convinced they're
All right,
making the
Corey.
playoffs.
Are you all, like?
I said with the way they started this season, I didn't think they had a shot. The fact that they dug out is impressive.
It is.
Yeah,
You get more injuries now.
the
They get the
garbage.
To your
third wild
starting
card.
pitching.
How impressive is it when you get the Dodgers in a 5-game?
Well, yeah, you're going to get crushed, but I mean,
Well,
if they can,
Not really.
if they can pull themselves out of from where they were,
They need a starter. They need a center fielder.
They need
they need a
everything
lot.
under the
They
sun.
need
Activity.
Bryce to be back soon
When's
and
he
healthy.
coming back? Nate, anything on that? Have you heard about Bryce?
No.
Segura? I mean, whatever.
I mean, every time you look at the like the thing, it's like he's on like the longest 10-day IL you've ever seen.
Hey, look, I'll take a guy like Segura back just because it's better than throwing out
But
these
here's the thing, like when-
minor leaguers that
you're
just
right.
came up to fill in a
When-
spot for the
when
night.
Harper goes down, that's why you sign Ray Muto, Hoskins, and freaking Schwarber's doing it. But second half, Ray Muto, Hoskins, Schwarber, Castellanos, boom. They all need to step up.
Here's my question. Harper comes back. Do you put Castellanos in the DH? Just maybe to make the game easier for him and he doesn't have to think about going out.
He
And
was DHing.
I thought Schwarber was wasn't he
they were
taking?
rotating.
Yeah,
That was in the
I
beginning.
put him
though.
at full time till he figures out his swing. Don't even worry
Yeah,
about
but
getting out on
Harper's
the
got
out on the
that
field.
UCLA injury. He ain't gonna
Nah,
do
he
that.
can't throw. Yeah,
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. All-Star game is this weekend,
The
right?
19th.
No.
Or
The 19th, isn't it?
19th.
what is that? Tuesday?
Today's the 14th.
Today's the
So wait,
14th.
Is the home run derby Monday the 18th? It's gotta be.
It's the night before.
Damn, Schwarby. That's the other thing. Anybody else concerned about that? Remember when Abreu hit like
Screws up their.
screws up
Yeah.
your swing?
Yeah.
Yes. I was talking the one
It
Phillies
is.
game we went to
Monday?
Yeah, it is.
when we were leaving. I was talking to DJ about that, and I mentioned to him about the home run derby screwing up your swing,
Abreu.
and he's like, "Nah, I don't believe that. That's a bunch of bullshit." I said, "I don't know. It's happened in the past."
But it did, I mean, look at Alonso's second half last year.
And that's exactly who he mentioned. Didn't hurt Alonso.
Yeah, it did. Alonso didn't have that great of a second half, and
No.
the Mets faltered.
He still hit though.
Yeah, he's still hitting. He still had home runs.
Yeah, but he didn't have. I don't think he had as great of a second half as he did first half. But Bobby Abreu,
I don't know.
Ryan
Yeah,
Howard,
it screwed up Abreu.
It really wrecked him. I don't know. It doesn't wreck everybody.
Didn't
It does.
Abreu hit
It never
50?
bothered Ken Griffey.
No.
Did Abreu hit 50?
No,
Yes, he did.
he hit 50. Oh, in the home run derby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Not
trying
the
to
season.
And
see.
then the
No,
and
not
then
the
the
season.
second half of the season, he hit like three.
Like 4 home runs. Yeah.
No, Schwarber's a professional hitter. I'm not as concerned. But I don't really care if he wins it. I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah, it's nice, but doesn't do much. He gets a nice little trophy to put on his shelf. Right.
If we don't make the postseason now, Dombrowski's going, down in Fletcher territory.
He's like
That's
him
why
and,
I
him
have.
and, him and Morey
already
are
there.
kind of.
See, I got Morey too.
It's
and
kind of hard
and
not
Howie's
to.
number one by
Daryl
far.
Morrow.
Yeah.
Do you agree right now? Howie's the best GM by far in the city.
After
It's
what
not
he
even
did-
close.
No.
After what he did, how can you argue?
And then two's Morey right now.
Yeah. You can't argue after what the
3
he did in the
Dombrowski,
offseason.
4 Union GM,
Right, Jim?
5
Right,
Philadelphia,
Jim?
Philadelphia Stars GM. 6.
Howie is
You're-
number one right now.
You're
I'm
really
I'm
not giving him any street
No,
cred?
I
Come
think-
on, man.
I think Jim knows.
As much of a fan I'm not.
Look, if you're ranking the GMs, yes, it's hard to say he's not number one.
That-
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not a big Howie fan either.
But I think he's a runaway
I think
number
he-
one right now.
I
Yeah.
think he really killed it over this past offseason.
Hey, you know my feelings on Morey and Dombrowski, Fletch.
Fletch,
Yeah, I got no
to
love at
your
all.
point, he doesn't have a whole lot of competition right now.
Yeah. All right,
unless the Union win the MLS Cup.
I hope so. I'm gonna get my
Were there-
my
were-
Sons of Ben.
Will there be a parade on Broad Street for them or 291?
Right, bro.
Probably too crowded down there.
Broad
You
Street.
can't have that's a main
Yo, we
street.
won't have to worry about Villanova
What?
having
291?
291, right?
That
What's
was-
the
What the hell is Broad Street?
what's that road? Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So
They're literally about the same size in width.
we won't have to worry about Villanova having any more parades without Jay Wright.
Flat's not gonna like that.
No.
It's all right.
All right. I think we hit on pretty much everything.
Yeah.
We're running over here. Just want to say to Zach Wilson, stay away from my wife. Yeah, well, we got a lot in tonight. Again, it's not a whole lot of exciting things going on, but plenty to talk about. Always. Philly
Union,
sports.
not a real sport. Your dad.
Who said that?
Your dad.
Yeah, he said that a while ago.
He also made a comment on another thread that the Flyers would win a championship before the Sixers. This has been an ongoing debate for many
If they don't win
years.
one, would it be?
And
Maybe.
I took the field one year with my buddy, and I had the Eagles versus the field. He was very much on. This was AI era. He very much thought that the Sixers, and that was the risk I was taking. I was like, yeah, Sixers are close, but I'm sticking with my Eagles, and I won that bet. But I don't know. I think, Dad, you're on the wrong side there with that. The Flyers have a lot of work to do. Sixers are a piece or two, and maybe a coach away from getting
I
it
think you
done.
might be just yanking your chain on that.
No, I think he believes it.
Really?
Yeah.
So he believes in
Come on, Mr.
Tortellini?
Marcus.
He believes in Tortellini.
I mean, you can't. He's thick-headed. I tried to steer him clear on Claire, and sometimes you just can't get through these old
He
heads.
did pick a winner with that one.
Yeah.
Can't argue that.
All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight on another episode of the Santa Boot First podcast. Summer's just about halfway through here, folks. Hate to say that, but that means football is getting ever closer.
We got some big things.
Ever
coming in
closer. A lot
football.
going on. We got our meetings of the minds. We're figuring out how we're gonna have our
We
football
don't have any
season
breaking news
going.
yet, or like top things.
No, I don't have any big announcements or anything like that for us right now.
Okay.
You know,
Are you still working with our agents and stuff?
I'm still seeing what we can do, making sure all the sponsors are lined up. I'm gonna get some dancing girls in here one day. We'll figure it all out. We got some fun ideas what we're gonna do for the season.
What am I missing here?
We've been in contact with Double Visions. They might sponsor.
Ah, cool.
Somebody else out there said that they're the best show ever, so we gotta prove that they're not. I don't know. I don't know how.
You're just trashing all the
I just think it's funny. I just
competition.
think it's funny.
I-
If you're on a major
Major
radio
network,
network.
I am right there with
And
you.
that's the best title. They
Yeah,
can come
exactly,
Up
exactly.
If you're a
missing-
podcast, it's fine.
If you're missing Ellie,
Yeah.
don't you think missing Ellie's sitting at home like with the cigars?
Exactly.
waiting for
Say,
it to
what are
implode?
these guys doing?
And then you know what's going to happen? 97.5 is going to try to get him back. He's been.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Whatever. I don't listen to any of them.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us on another episode of the Stand and Boot First podcast. We will see you next week. And until then, I say it every week, but we really mean it. Try to be more excellent to each other. And we will see you next week.
All right.
Yeah, that's us.
Rapid fire.
Now,
Think this the one here? Turn the beat up.
Pat Sweeney.